Welcome to the KMC Collective podcast, where the KMC team brings you practical insights, creative ideas, and authentic conversations for children's ministry leaders. Each conversation is packed with strategies to help you lead with clarity, build strong teams, nurture families, and stay healthy in the process. Whether you're planning lessons, training volunteers, or seeking encouragement for the week ahead, this podcast is for you. We hope to make you laugh, cry, think, and maybe a bit of all three in each of our weekly conversations. This is the KMC Collective Podcast. Let's jump into the conversation.
All right, and welcome to the KMC Collective Podcast. I'm Tom.
I'm Cole.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Vicki.
All right. Well, welcome, guys, and thank you for listening. Thank you for everybody who's been subscribing to the YouTube channel. Man, we'd love to see a few more. The numbers are growing each week, so thank you for that. And on the podcast, we thank you. Every week, pretty much, we see somebody saying, hey, this is how I found the Kid Ministry Collective Facebook group. Was through our podcast. And so we want you to join the conversation. So don't be afraid to share some of your feedback. Or if you want to hear a future topic on our conversations, we would love to hear from you. So Vicki, what's our conversation centering around today?
Great question, friends. Well, we are 2.5 weeks out from Christmas and everyone has everything planned and we are ready to go. And we are just sitting back and we are going, what are we doing? No. Anyone?
We are not ready to go. What are you talking
No.
about?
I was gonna say, huh? How many
Right?
days?
Everyone, I know.
My chocolate advent calendar says Christmas is a day away. Oh,
Uh-huh.
is that?
Have you already eaten all 24 of the chocolates?
23, yeah.
Ouch.
You need to replace it with grapes or something. That's what you need to do and go back and eat
Yes.
fruit.
All right.
So friends,
Okay.
we're 2.5 weeks out from Christmas. And I know that I have been in a season where you're 2.5 weeks out and you still have a lot of planning to do. There's a last minute event that is coming up. There are a lot of Christmas questions popping. And so we would love to have a conversation around last minute events, whether you're being voluntold to do an event, last minute, something's coming up where you need to add to a Christmas service, add something to an existing event. There are a lot of us. Ben is raising his hand. He is ready to go and jump into this conversation. So we're going to have a conversation around
I was just voluntold.
last minute events.
You
Ben.
just got voluntold.
Voluntold to come up with something. Okay. Well, I'll be honest. I could give you a lot of last minute disasters that turned into success because it was one of those moments. But I just go back to this one time. It was when I was first started in ministry, many years ago.
You're not that
And
old.
the pastor was like, it was probably, I would say, December 15, December 18th, really
Ooh.
close to
Ooh,
Christmas.
that's
right?
close.
I
Yes.
bet he was probably thinking 2 weeks out, and he goes, "Hey, could we do something with kids on stage the night before Christmas?" And I'm a yes man. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'd never say no to a challenge, and I should have. And but man, I pulled out all the stops. I've started talking to my volunteers. I was like, we got to do this. If you know me, I don't sing, and I don't know how to lead kids in singing. I'm a terrible dancer. I'm a pure white guy, dad, sitting on the couch dancing. I can't. But I need help. And we had a volunteer who was fluent or kind of knew sign language. And so what I did was we got together. I put a playlist together, maybe about 4 songs, Christmas kind of Mary's song, Joseph's song, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, all the good stuff that kind of told the whole story. And we challenged the kids to stay after on a midweek, stay after on a Sunday, and then within like week and a half, we taught kids sign language and
Wow.
like
That's
to
crazy.
these 2 or 3 songs, and we pulled it off. The fun fact is we pulled it off. I don't know if it was actually sign language, but the adults were entertained. It was the story of
Like
Christmas.
that one politician with the interpreter who was just making
Ugh.
hand
It was,
signs up, right?
yes. And so the music played in the background. The kids did their little hand motions. The lady was an amazing leader. It was right
Wow.
down her alley, and she was more than willing to serve. And so I
Wow.
pulled off a very close call with a
There you
very
go.
close date. And so that's my favorite
There
story
you go.
of waiting to the
That's a
last
good one.
minute.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I got voluntold
Yeah.
once to have to come up with something, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Because again, probably had 3 weeks. I don't think it was two. I think we had 3 weeks, so almost a month. And I just put the word out, and I said, parents, have your kids pick a character from the Christmas story, and I put out the list. And and I said, have them come to church dressed and ready and just listen for their character to be called up. So what I did is I took the Christmas story and I made it into a little more expanded of a story. And so as I got to, um, you know, Mary the angel came to Mary. I'll start there in the story. Do I have any angels in the crowd? And all of a sudden, any kid dressed as an angel came up and stood up on stage with me. And do I have any Marys in the crowd? I had 8 Marys show up.
Kid Marys or adult Marys?
Kid Marys. Kid
Okay.
Marys,
Marys.
dressed as Mary. But every time I would read a different character, including some of the animals, I would name off some of the animals. Because obviously I can see some of the kids in the crowd,
Yeah.
and we had an elephant. The parents
That's
later
a new
told
one.
the parents told me that was the only costume they had in the house left over from Halloween. The kid wanted to be an elephant, so they so I'm literally like, do we have any elephants? Because these guys came from the Far East. Maybe they rode on elephants, not camels. It could have been. Bible
Yeah.
doesn't say it's not. And so this one kid comes lumbering down the aisle, making his trumpet sounds, and
That's
he was
funny.
pretty good at it. It was hilarious.
Oh no!
But we
They
just,
did the
but
sound
it was
effect.
the simplest Christmas
Yes.
program I've ever done in my life, because all I had to do is read the story. I sat on a stool right in the middle of the stage, and all the kids just gathered around me as I read out the story. And I will say I cheated just a little bit because I needed to have, I wanted to make sure that I had like one angel, that would really stand out. I had some kids dressed as stars because I needed some stars in the sky. So I prompted a few families about what they could, so that I knew I had some of the basics. But yeah, it was hilarious on stage. Like I said, we had 8 Marys, we had 5 Josephs, we had, and the kids thought it was great because they all got to be on stage and wave at their parents, and people thought it was really cute and fun, and it was the simplest program I've ever done. And I was so glad because I pulled it off in like I say, it had to have been 3 weeks at the most. And boom. In fact, I had other kids pastors going, can I get that script? I'm like, read the Bible. It's in the Bible. But I think I have it on a file somewhere. I should probably put it up in the Kidmin Plus toolbox.
You need to
There you go.
next time Google the Christmas story told from the Gen Z Bible, and
Not the
literally
Pirate
you
Bible
can
this
sit
time.
there, not the Pirate Bible, but the Gen Z Bible, and you could sit there. You would have the adults, you know, attention, and the kids would be rolling or
Is that like
telling you
Joseph's
you're
got the
way too old for
Riz
this.
and
Uh,
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no. Oh no. I think we should move on.
I'm just giving
I-
ideas out. That's I
there were
would never do
6,
that.
7 angels in the sky? No.
Oh
Oh, stop,
no.
stop.
Oh
Please,
no.
Cole, take it, go.
Please
I
bring
don't
us
just
back
know.
to simplicity, Cole.
Yes.
Simplicity. Like
Simple,
as we
clear.
talk about, okay, as we sit here and talk about this, and I've had a few events in my past, never, not Christmas, but other events. The thing that keeps sticking out in my mind is pick a simple win. Like
Yes.
when that senior pastor or senior leader comes into your office and says, "We want a Christmas thing in 2 weeks." Pick a simple win. Don't try to cover it all. Do like Jesus came near, like happy birthday, Jesus. Like that's a big win for the kids. You could
Yes.
do birthday cakes and all that or
Birthday
something like
cake.
that.
Yeah. Cupcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Or
Good
like
idea.
even an event where you talk about the Christmas story, but ultimately it's caring for the families in your church. Something simple, something easy, something tangible that can be an easy win for you and your ministry and your church. Because if you try to make it complicated, you never get it finished, and then you're trying to
Right.
fumble 17 different wins into one event, and you only had 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
So
That's good advice. I like
I,
that.
yes,
I
keep it
love that,
simple.
Cole.
Preaching at me.
Keep it simple.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Do
with
what you
that,
can, not what you can't. Focus on
Hmm.
that. Yep.
Have you ever had to wait till the last minute, like, or realized you had so much stuff on your plate that you wanted to love on the families of your church, so you try to pull something together last minute, like write a letter to each family or come up with some fun
hmm,
giveaway or something like that?
it
Yep.
feels
That's
like
where I
somebody
got
might
in
have.
trouble. That's the last thing on my priority list was what do I do for my volunteers? What do I give to my families? And that's where I failed,
Yep.
because I was so worried about making, the environment or the curriculum or the
Hmm.
decorations on the
Yeah.
stage be so awesome and so Christmassy that I failed in that because I waited till the last minute. I
Yeah.
know it's not like last minute, voluntold, but it always ends up being my last
Yeah.
minute item
Hmm.
for sure.
It
Hmm.
Yeah.
happens. There's a lot on our plate.
Oh yeah.
We're all navigating so much. I love to
Uh-huh.
tell people, keep it simple, silly. Kiss. Especially during this
She said that a
season.
lot nicer than I would.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm here
That's
for.
good, Vicki. Yes, yes. You
It
bring out
doesn't
the
have to be a
sweetness of
lot,
us.
right? Whether it's in
Yes.
service, an event
Hmm.
before service, maybe they're asking you to do an event after service. So many families just want to just be a part of it, and we make it so complicated. If
Yeah.
I were to give a gift
Well,
to
we do.
every single person listening, it's do something simple. Frost cookies and have hot cocoa. Do a craft.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the and we're going to do hot cocoa and a craft and a photo booth and
Hmm.
some narration. I think if
Yep.
we just think simple, families just want time with their kids.
Yep. Yep.
Vicki, you say that, and every year I have a Christmas event with my families, and every year I'm like, we should add this and add that and add this, and like, I think I sat down this year and I was like, well, wait a second. You already provide a space where families have fun, they learn about the true Christmas story, and you give them literally I have a person on my team that bakes cookies and frosts them. That's her job.
Wow.
And so she is donating I have actually two volunteers. They're donating 14 dozen for our event.
Wow.
But I was like, I need to add a family photo booth. Last year I thought about doing all these games out in the lobby, and I was just like, no, you're providing an hour and a half where
Yeah.
it's going to be fun. We're going to learn about the true meaning of Jesus, and we're going to have a
Mhm.
moment at the end with Christmas cookies and cocoa. And it doesn't need to be bigger than that, and it doesn't need to
Yep.
be 4 hours long. It
Right.
can be an hour and a half, an hour. You just got to make it simple, but make it intentional. Make your
Yeah.
simple win an intentional moment.
Yep.
If I could,
You
as
have
I
a lady, that all she does is make cookies.
yes,
That's her job.
that mean
Are you
that's
looking for anyone that's all their job is to eat them?
no, that's my job.
Oh,
Listen, I
because
I'm
I want to apply right now.
Ben. I live in Amish country, and
Oh,
I have
yes.
Amish cookies. I have Amish fry pies. I can
Oh,
we'll talk after the podcast. I'll see
Yep.
what I can get you. But
I was gonna say, I'm not that far away from you, bro. Hook me up for
hey, I
some
mean,
fry
Tom,
pies.
you're here,
Yeah, buddy. Well, I mean, we did a thing with families that was just a 1 hour, and you know what stuck with people was the snowball fight we had with marshmallows
hmm
afterwards. Now,
Hmm.
nowadays they make the little big giant pom pom ball, the soft, squishy,
Oh
reusable
yeah, those
snowballs.
are awesome.
That's
We'll be
that's
doing
cheap.
that at our church. Yeah.
We used to buy the giant size marshmallows and use those. And we
Mm.
would always at my kids worship team would do the last song. They'd lead everybody in singing, and then we had buckets hidden around behind the Christmas trees and stuff like that. So while they were singing the chorus, they all just broke out into running behind these trees, coming out with these buckets of marshmallows, just chucking them into the crowd, and it just started this pan. Yeah. Now I will say the custodian wasn't thrilled with, I mean, we we had marshmallows in the baptistry. We had
hmm
marshmallows behind the drum set. We found them months later.
You were basically student ministry.
Yeah.
Yes,
You took
yes,
a
essentially,
page from the student
yes.
Yeah,
ministry
We
handbook.
I think
did.
Yeah.
that's fine.
The funny part is I started that tradition on the Christmas Eve service for families, and now I see the church has taken it to another level. They bring in an artificial snow machine, so they make it snow, and then they have the
Whoa.
soft snowball fight thing. Yeah, they actually mount it in the rafters, so when the snow falls. And so they've taken it to a whole lot, and I think that's really cool. But you don't have to have all that. But it was just that simple little goofiness of the families
hmm
having fun together and doing. I do think we try to over program,
We do.
and
We
families
do.
just want that. They want a break from all the hustle and bustle, just to come
hmm
and be together as a family. And if you walk out and you hand them something that they can take home or talk about in their car ride on the way home,
hmm
the parents are just like, man, that was so good because it got us centered on Christmas. And yeah, I think too many of us kid ministry leaders stress ourselves out because we're trying to go bigger, bigger, bigger. And
hmm
really, I guess if you think about back to that horrible time of COVID, how simple we made everything. And I
Yes.
think we have to go back to that principle. Like you said, keep it simple, sweetie. Is that what you said?
Ah,
I think that's, I don't,
Silly. Keep
wha-
it
Billy.
Silly. Oh,
Billy.
silly.
I like
There's
sweetie
other,
better. Keep it simple, sweetie.
sweetie.
see
I
again,
feel
I'm
like,
I'm I'm not saying what I think my brain is wanting. I had to pause because my brain had to filter that, so I didn't say what I
hmm
wanted to say out loud because that would be naughty. So
One
So
of
that's
the
there's,
the fifth
funnest
fifth grade
things,
Tommy coming out.
well, one of the
oh my
funnest
God.
things we did, it didn't cost anything,
Oh, free is
was
always good.
hmm
free, and it was very convenient, and it was very, um, it was one of those moments where families bragged. Like, I love our church, and we offered a Friday night or a Saturday night babysitting, parents get your shopping done night
hmm
for
Ah,
kids. And we had popcorn, we threw a movie on the screen. We've had little games, like one of those games. We tried to theme it out, and I had heard about your marshmallow thing, and I had pool noodles. And if you put a marshmallow in a pool noodle and spit it out
Ben
against
made
the wall,
blowguns for kids.
the
Okay,
blow guns. I love it.
and it was amazing. It did leave marks on the wall, so I highly recommend you don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
But we babysat kids and we just invested in the families, and
that's cool.
parents went out, got Christmas shopping done, and
That's a cool
hmm
they
idea.
they were thankful. They were thankful for their church who was partnering together with them, and it not necessarily just telling Jesus, just being present and in
Yeah,
the
hmm
lives of the family. So that was a huge success, and it would cost literally just time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I promise you, you'll be a rock star in your church if you pull something like that off.
That's good. That's
Well,
good.
right. We realize it's 2.5 weeks out. And if
hmm
you're the only one at a church, you might be feeling like you can't pull it off by yourself, right? So we
Yeah.
need to ask others. And I think there's something to be said. It's okay to go get a kit. I've seen this
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
lately where
Mm-hmm.
you're like, help me design this big event. There are a lot of kits out there ready to go. They have your media, they have a craft. They're
Oh yeah.
basically plug and play. You're two and a
Yep.
half weeks out. Don't be afraid to just go buy a kit and
Absolutely.
do that for your families. Don't stress yourselves out
Yeah.
in this
But
season.
see what your curriculum has. Maybe there's something, maybe you don't do the
Yes.
fourth week of your
Yes.
your month, so you could take the fourth week and make it an event, short event,
There you
and
go.
you just take aspects of your large group and your small group and put it together and make a short 2 hour, 1 hour event. You already have the supplies there because you have to get it anyways.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, because most curriculums reuse supplies week to week during those months. So, I mean, that's an easy
Yeah.
win. You don't have to pay any money for that. You already have it. You just got to make it work.
Yeah. I saw somebody saying something like that in one of the Facebook groups recently of, well, I don't want to buy a kit. I'm going to make my own. But what do you do? They're like, where do you get your media and what do you do for that? And I'm like, my answer was, hey, time is as a resource and it's an investment. Do you really feel like this is the time to invest your time? Because if you're writing a whole Christmas thing and trying to create slides and find music and find funny transition videos and all that, the amount of time, whatever your time is worth, I guarantee you're going to spend more on that, creating your own thing where you could go out and tweak something that's already there. And there's plenty of free, great Christmas kits out there. But even some of the Christmas kits, like Gingerbread Bash from Go, it's
Mm-hmm.
super simple. Uh, Amazing Kids has their Christmas thing. I don't know what it's called this year, but
Jingle Jam, same thing.
Oh, is it Jingle Jam? Okay,
Jingle
so
Jam, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's Jingle Jam.
to
Hmm.
me, the amount of financial investment that you would spend to do that and to pull elements out of it is so much more worth it than me taking 4 or 5 hours that I really don't have to spare. That to me is expensive. That's more expensive than buying the kit.
Hmm.
And I just think people are like, man, really think that through. Um, because I know you may think, oh, I don't want to spend $25 or $50. Well, I'm sorry, but my time, $50 an hour, um, it's going to take me 5 or 6 hours. Yeah,
It's
I
gold.
Yeah.
I would totally, yeah, with everything else I got to do for Christmas Eve services, and I mean, I had one church where we had 4, 5 Christmas Eve services,
Hmm.
and then Sunday, um, you know. Now I'm radical, and I wish more churches would actually take the Sunday between Christmas and New Year's and just record the message and record the worship and live stream that and let your whole team and all your staff breathe. Um, at first, when I first saw a church do this, I was like, how dare they? And then I'm like, I did it. I was in a church that did it and gave us the weekend off and gave our volunteers the weekend off. And I was like, I don't know if I would work for a church that still that
Mm.
didn't want to do something like that because
Oh, I
it's
love
such a
it.
gift.
The
I say,
church
Tom, I
that I
introduced that at
just
our
came from,
church.
What's
all the
that?
families,
Yeah. Yeah.
all the families would attend together, and it was
Yes.
coming together for Christmas, but it was to give them a break as well. Um, and that from what I see on Facebook, from what I see in some of these Facebook groups, there are a lot of churches out there that are like, "Hey, what do I do for kids in the service, like Christmas
Yeah.
service or
Mhm.
the
Right.
Christmas Eve service?" Because it is a low time to get volunteers because
Yep.
everybody's traveling or
It's
Hmm.
hard.
Hmm.
you're asking a lot to borrow somebody's Christmas Eve or Christmas service.
Yep.
What would you say? Like, I don't know if you've ever done this, and we did this every year for almost a dozen years. Um, and I had to try to keep it fresh. What would you do if, say, your pastor said, "Hey, we're going to combine everybody, family service." Um, as a children's minister, you want to be there for the kids. It may not be their cup of tea. They're going to get bored. And if they're making noise, the pastor will never do this again, but you're enjoying the break. And what would you say? would be some great ideas for these children's ministers that are trying to pull something off for a Christmas Eve around this time to invest in the kids, but yet still,
Hmm.
be present for
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, our church, I've done two things over the time here that I've been. So we have like a cafe area with some big tables and stuff. So for the first couple years, what I end up doing is creating a kid space. And within the cafe, you can watch service and interact with it and all that type of stuff. But creating a kid space where we had like, I went on Oriental Trading and bought like, look like little lotto scratchers, but they're Christmas ornaments and stuff like that, or like coloring pages and stuff like that. But what I did notice after 2 years is nobody really came out after a while. They just all stayed in service. So the last 3 years, I've created little grab bags. And I mean, literally has a color, like a small 4 or 5 by 8 coloring pages thing in there. I put a pack of 4 crayons. I put, believe it or not, 4 Chanel stems or pipe cleaners, as they call them.
Yeah.
And the kids build stuff with it and all that. And I put fruit snacks in there. And I just put them out. I have a little table that says for the kids, grab them as you come in. And there, but as you go into our sanctuary, there's like a middle part, and I just put a table out there and I just stack them on there. And I hang out there prior to service, say hi to the kids, give them high fives, and then I give them to the kids as they go in, and then I pull out new ones for the second service, and it has worked phenomenally. Except if I can give you one piece of advice, never get plastic cellophane bags.
Yes.
They're easy
Oh,
to
man.
pack. They're easy to
Crinkle,
pack because
crinkle.
but oh my goodness, the crinkle is so loud in service.
Yeah, when you
So
got 20, 30
stick with
kids
paper
crinkling all
bags.
at
Yeah.
once, that would,
Stick to those thicker paper bags that
Oh.
have the Christmas like ornaments on them. That's what we use. But yeah, those have worked great. And the best part is kids get to take them home.
Yes.
And then get to finish the stuff at home, and parents can talk about it and all that type of stuff. And if you don't have, here's the thing, if you don't have time to create like a little coloring page or coloring book, you can buy them on Amazon for like 100 of them for like $20.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Instead of
There's a
creating
lot
one
out
this
there.
year or reusing my last year's one, I just bought 100 of them for $20 and said, yeah, I'm just going to do that. I don't have to create it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to have AI generate it, whatever way you want to do it. It's just there. I just stick it in the bag. And also, don't do it yourself. 100 bags with all that type of
Yes.
stuff. Utilize. I have volunteers that love to do that. Bring a volunteer in, make it a small little during the week event for them. Provide coffee or donuts or hot cocoa or whatever it is, or cookies, and say, hey, we're going to pack 100 bags or 150 bags. We're going to have them ready for the kids. So Christmas Eve service, they have something to engage them beyond just what's happening on stage. So
we did that at Applebee's. Or Chili's or whatever those. You know how they do those little kid coloring things, and they fold it in a fun way that holds the crayons.
Yeah.
So I had to do some research. You go eat, you get one of those kid things, and then you go back and you try to replicate the fold. And that was a fun thing because then we looked like we were professional restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the best things I ever did was getting some of my returning college students that were on break to come do those they created worship bags for us. And we did a lot of the same thing that you did, Cole, was creating some things in there, a note-taking page that kind of went along with the pastor's message. And we offered the kids a prize if they would bring it back to our table after the service. And it was filled in. We had something special for them. We had a glow stick in there. So when it came candle lighting time, instead of parents being worried that the kids were gonna, now they're making the battery operated candle kind of things and all that stuff. There's a lot more out there. But before, back in the day, all we had was you either give them a candle, they light and drip wax all over the furniture, and the custodial staff goes bonkers. But we just started doing glow sticks, and the kids loved it. Although sometimes during the message you'd hear crack and you could hear them shaking it because they couldn't wait till the candle lighting time, which is when they were supposed to do it. But I think one of the keys, if you're going to bring families together, plan for them to do stuff. Get the kids, have a Christmas carol that the kids like to sing. I mean, my church, we sang Frosty the Snowman on Christmas Eve because we had the kids in the house. We did a fun song. No, we didn't do grandmother got ran over by a reindeer. We didn't do that one.
That would be
But
good.
we
With
did.
motions.
There were too many grannies in the house, so we didn't want to give the
You
grannies
don't want to
a
scare the
complex.
children.
No,
There's
no.
No,
all
I don't
those
want to do that.
Marys.
But we had the kids involved, so we had kids up there singing with the worship team. We had a little element where I did a Christmas object lesson, a little magic trick. So we brought the kids up and had them gather around for a few minutes, so they got a part of it. And then we had the worship bags. I just think too many churches expect the families to come together, and then they don't give them a reason to be there. It's pretty much the kids are sitting in an adult-oriented service. And so I've told my pastors, look, if you want me in there and you want all of our kids in there, then the kids need to be part of this. They need to be visible. They need to be heard. Families need to be told right from the very beginning, hey, parents, don't worry about your kids making noise tonight. You know?
Yeah.
And I told my pastor,
Yes.
if you don't like that, then let me do a complete family service. And we actually did in one church. My pastor did not, and this was sad. It's part of why I didn't stay there too long. He did not want the kids in the service. They were disruptive. So I said, fine, I will do a 5 p.m. family Christmas Eve service. And we basically set it up and we told people, if you want candlelights and kumbaya, come at 7. If you want craziness, pandemonium, all that kind of stuff, we are going to do it at 5 p.m. And
Kumbaya, my lord.
For those of you
Kumbaya.
listening, you should go to
Uh,
YouTube and watch Ben right
yes,
now.
you need to watch Ben. That was
That's the
good.
greatest campfire song ever.
That was really good.
I love
Um,
that, Tom. I love how you brought it all together and let your pastor know that if we want the kids in, we need to prepare. And I
Yes.
think I've heard a couple words tonight, like, right, we need to keep it simple. We need to
Yep.
prepare for the kids to be in there and not by a lot.
Mhm.
And I think there's communication that can happen as well with the pastor. If it's 2.5 weeks out and you haven't been invited to the table, ask what songs are being sung. Is there an extra song? Is
Mhm.
there a moment? Could he give you 10 words? And even if he doesn't, we know the words that are more than likely going to be part of the Christmas message that you could
Yeah.
even write on a piece of paper. It doesn't even need to be fancy, and you could hand them out and listen for how many times your pastor says Mary or Jesus
Mhm.
or travel to Bethlehem. I
Yes.
think it's preparing for the kids to be in the service. And one more, I think just an opportunity if it's the week before and they're like, we need you to prepare an element. You get out a Jesus Storybook Bible or a kid's Bible and you say, what does it look like for me to come up on stage, bring the kids up, story
Mhm.
time? You
Yep.
read the story with them and you dismiss them back.
Yep.
And it's simple, but the parents are going to love that your church took time to care for them, to see the kids. And I guarantee half of those parents are going to take pictures and
Oh,
post
Mhm.
on
yes.
social media the next day.
Yes.
And you didn't have 3 play practices or have to do a bunch of things. So just think about the
That's good.
win, right? We've talked about that. Think about what win that
Yep.
you can give your parents, whether it's for a separate event or
Mhm.
during the Christmas service, like what win do we see landing with our parents this year? I
That's
think
good.
that is gold.
Ooh, that's
Keep
really
it
good.
silly. Keep it simple,
Simple,
silly.
silly.
Yeah,
It's
Silly.
simple, silly.
silly.
Yes. That's good. That's good. I think that is, you know, we just want to be encouraging to all of you listening or watching. Again, don't miss the spirit of the season yourself because you're so wrapped up in trying to create something huge. The small things sometimes have the best impact, the greatest impact, the most memorable impact. And so just figure what you can do. You don't need a lot of budget. You don't need a lot of volunteers to
Mhm.
pull off something that will put Jesus in the middle of it all, and allow families to exhale and to focus and leave the busyness aside for a little bit and just have fun with their families and worship as a family. So
Mhm.
And you're
um,
not alone. We're here for you. Like
that's
if you
Yep.
right.
need ideas, that's what the
Mhm.
Facebook group's for.
Yep, that's right.
That's what our coaching's for. Like we can help you through this
That's
last
right.
minute. voluntold kind of
That's
thing.
that's right.
We're
Yeah.
here for you.
Events. Yeah.
So head over to kmccoach.net. You can hit a clarity call button on there and you get 30 minutes of free time just to talk to us. So maybe you need some ideas. Feel free to use that time.
Mhm.
Hit the button, pick one of the coaches and do that, or jump into kidminplus.net. Bring it up in there. All of us coaches are there. We're there to serve you. Kidmin Plus is a great leadership community that helps you grow and helps healthy leaders help build healthy teams that lead healthy ministries. And that's what the Kid Ministry Collective is all about, because we are truly better together. So that's going to wrap up this KMC Collective podcast. I'm Tom.
I'm Cole.
I'm Ben.
I'm Vicki.
All right. Until
And we're
next
out.
time.
Hey, friend, that wraps up the KMC Collective podcast for this week. Thanks so much for listening. If today's episode sparked something, an idea, a heartbeat, or a fresh start, drop us a line at tom@tombump.com or reach out on social media. We'd love to hear your story and keep the conversation going. Remember, you're not just doing kids ministry, you're shaping the next generation's faith with intention and care. Be encouraged, be creative, and take a breath. You've got this. Catch you next time on the KMC Collective Podcast.